Bruce Willis had a unique career. He was become famous. He performed for several years, notable people who played miraculously rescued humanity from villains, sporting a dashing grin on their faces. Nevertheless, the individual responsible for many recollections for a generation that is currently experiencing a loss of his awful predicament. He has at last farewelling him, and today are you regarding his tragic tale. In the month of March, the year 2022 saw the release of a shocking revelation. The prognosis for Bruce was the neurological disorder known as aphasia assaults one's capacity for speech. He struggles to find the right phrases show up. He is prepared to speak, but it's confined to his thoughts. Afterwards, it degraded further. The family's deadline is February 2023, presented the entire facts regarding what was issue with Bruce. He possessed frontotemporal cognitive decline or frontotemporal dementia. That being said, it wasn't restricted to lost his vocabulary. Bruce was down and out individually during the difficult portion. Just since there is no way to stop it, there is no cure. The only thing they could do was watch his head turn down. Plus, it's even worse than in this. Before long, you'll understand. On Demi Moore, Bruce's gal pal, December 5, 2024 former spouse, came clean about something that was intended to promote tranquility among well-wishers, buddies, and admirers. According to her, Bruce felt really secure. The problem is that did little to alleviate anxiety. It therefore implied that there exist times when Bruce was unpredictable and out of hand. What was her true intention? Surprisingly, Bruce was unable to use complete sentences, reported to have trouble reading completely immobile, and unable to move strenuous in nature. Think about it. The guy who used to pull his own stunts still has difficulty with basic motor skills, and his loved ones are obligated to view it on a daily basis. Emma, his spouse, the actor Hemming Willis narrated seeing his frightening as a shift in language. Furthermore, in that eerie aspect, it was upon her observation that, when it started, Bruce stutter-talked when he was little. It follows that his speech pattern began changing. She believed it was merely that to her. It seemed like the old shake their head. Her mistake was colossal. Should she have understood that something was amiss? Would Bruce's health be better now? Or would he inevitably continue to deteriorate? Far away, Emma proceeded to divulge an astonishing detail that really hit me hard. Bruce Irwin could be completely unaware of the situation regarding is doing physically. Give that some thought for after that. Perhaps Bruce is stuck in a state of realizing and being unaware of the current situation with him. Regardless of the difficulty she faced opting to lend a hand, as she is witnessing a source of comfort and delight for Bruce's these gloomy times. The fact that her love wasn't confined to happy times alone at least until what occurred next. Emma wed at the age of 46 to Bruce in the year 2009. They are parents of two. Evelyn, who is 10 years old, and Mabel, who is 12, are their daughters. Think of the anguish she must have been feeling soul as she proceeded with the following step in their father. Emma completed in August of 2025 a choice likely to cause debateto every corner of the web. Bruce was impacted by her into an additional dwelling with 24/7 persons providing care. Afterwards, mutterings and questions. Emma has chicly left Hey Bruce. According to Emma, this were the desires of Bruce. In her statement, Bruce would hope that his girls would find a house that better met their requirements, not mine. Can you believe that Bruce actually would you like this? One such outcome is that he may be completely unaware of the situation. None anything. Emma is torn between her spouse discover solace in this gloomy time and being a parent who watches pursuing what was best for her daughters. Did she make the correct choice? Right now that Emma is more than simply Bruce's spouse, but she's the one who cares for him. Thankfully, that is her self-presentation and her badly damaged. Keep an eye on her daughters. She says that feel the loss of their father when he is staying alive. Was the reason she moved him away her wish they could stop hurting already? It was her daughters missed to a large extent. Bruce is missing out on crucial important points in their life. Bruce was not aware as forgotten their birthday. Performing arts at school feel foreign to him, to the point where he can't even bond with his daughters on an emotional level that we are unprepared for how difficult that is. And oh no, Emma is absolutely terrified that her girls might not even recover from witnessing their dynamic and active father dwindle eventually. Might this be a viable option? What happens to her daughters? In what ways how is Emma meant to keep it together? This is really challenging. Is it those signify that she is opting for a less hard path by removal of Bruce? That is, on July 26, 2025, the rumors bothered Emma to no end. She inquired people to refrain from paying attention to conjecture due to the lack of care and risked hurting her loved ones. Very little is true, that not as straightforward as an abandonment story. The hardships that family is suffering does not seem to be enough. Tula, Bruce's eldest daughter, as a result of his marriage to Demi, Willis Moore disclosed details regarding her own saw the transformation of her father firsthand. Her statement stunned everyone. The Tula sensed a problem, but rather than worried about her health, assumed another thing. As soon as she attempted for a pre-diagnosis conversation with Bruce, she experienced his lack of response, so she believed her father's affection for her had waned and had lost all affection for her. She failed Tolman was the cause. Was it a mistake that she later regretted the verdict she reached? Tula has the potential to go on to discuss the significance of publicly expressing oneself. Tula expresses her emotions now more visible than ever before, and Shay's not alone in this. And her mom, the ex-wife of Demi Bruce, is still devastated taking part. She rarely leaves family gatherings. She shares images on social media that reveal united as a family. At Bruce's 70th big day, everyone in the family came together to revel in. Were Bruce, therefore, indeed that left behind? Are you in agreement? I didn't. Nobody took notes save Bruce's immediate family. Uncertainty pervaded. During the preceding diagnosis made by Bruce in the years 2018 and 2022, he had notable cinema roles in 4 years. This was mostly due to a lack of funding. Smash hits. They had a limited budget directly into the realm of video productions. The appeal of Bruce's name could be enough to make the movie a hit. An estimated $2 million was going into his pockets for a few jobs were completed in under 2 days. Being overworked and dealing with people on set observed something when working on it. What they observed that there was a problem. On January 1st, on the Hard Kill set in 2020, Lala Kent, an actress from Cincinnati, was shooting a dramatic moment in which she portrayed her father, Bruce. There was a need for Bruce is expected to rescue kept her safe. What he should have said was a certain section. While Kent dove in afterwards, Bruce would engage the bad guy. On his first attempt, Bruce shot off the weapon in the incorrect cue. Backwards ways in his presence. She failed to comprehend took place. No big deal. Let's reset, the crew reported. Suppose someone possesses hurt. They tried again, and this time it worked. The exact same thing happened. Bruce let go of his again, bright and early. One of the team members revealed news outlets that they consistently ensured that none being in the path of enemy fire when he was shooting weapons. Would you say that was sufficient safety measure? Let that sink in. It was after Rust, after we've posted all of our findings regards to the safe handling of prop guns. Bruce Willis, included the individual who became famous for his work in action scenes, were unable to entrusted with a replica weapon. I didn't regarding the props alone. Bruce had no idea reading between the lines. Just one crew member claimed that the situation wasn't bothering them. Regarding Bruce, but they were compelled to attempt to avoid casting a negative light on him. They figured it out. All Bruce was doing was puppeted, according to the crew member. Check out those dots. Acted out. They used the term previous use. Superhero Bruce Willis was cast as an actor. However, the concert continued as planned. September 2020 saw Bruce the Switchgrass while filming Midnight in a meeting with director Randall Emt at location where Bruce had to force open a door. Easy, isn't it? As a result of his slammed a ton of doors during his professional life. But he was utterly helpless this time around off it. With each successive swallow, he failed to grasp the nature of the inquiry about him. Many people on the crew who were source informed the Los Angeles Times that Bruce must have his wires connected to earphones because he was unable to never forget them. One of the stunt coordinators made an attempt his compass. The filmmaker EMTT made an attempt in order to show, by example, what Bruce had to complete. There was a complete failure. EMT2 apparently became frustrated and fled the set, that while Bruce stood there bewildered. In the future, a man named EMTT contacted his fiancée, Reality Lala Kent, who is supposedly inconsolable, discussed the fact that Bruce has no recollection of not familiar with his lines and has no ideas. As night falls, you will be able to observe our mean. Prop Master Alicia Haviland own a film, informed the press that Bruce's health issues were widely known about all done. Everyone was aware, yet the cameras continued recording moving forward. Even though what comes ahead occurred, Mike Burns, the film's director, worked on the film out of with Bruce in 2021 death. Prior to Bruce's arrival on set, hurrying things along, Burns emailed his film director. Details included in the email: Bruce should speak less, in his opinion. Parts. Small mark. From the second day onwards, throughout production, Burns discovered a more important matter at hand. But nobody bothered to very single thing. They persisted in tossing Bruce aside into movies. Who is Jesse V. Johnson? April 2021. Oversaw White Elephant. I met Bruce before we started filming. I remembered. Johnson and Bruce had collaborated for many years before, in the stuntman role, but now stood out. This was made known by Jesse. After all that time, Bruce had changed along with Terry, the supervisor of production. According to Martin, Bruce had promised to inform them that he would try his hardest while appearing really confused. Every time, Bruce gave it his best. However, the majority off gruesome detail, two workers on recalling Bruce's inquiry to White Elephant about, I am aware of your purpose for being here, and I am aware that. Why are you here, and what am I doing here? There was no purpose for the man's presence on set. Was he a victim of exploitation? The show business is a cruel place. Research indicates that those engaged in recreation is around 3-4 times as likely to have difficulties with mental health in comparison to the broader public. Actors were able to predictability, worked shifts additionally. Their job isn't long-term. Taken together, these considerations amount to causing performers to feel down. However, within anything more darker going on in this place, Bruce Willis generated a lot of money. His reputation alone might generate $2 million, turn a low-budget film into a lucrative business. His directors were aware of his difficulties in carry out tasks. Producers were aware, crew members knew, yet they continued to cast him nevertheless. And director Emmett, even though he is aware Bruce's problems, continued to cast him. One of Emmett's former assistants, Anna Samansa, exposed the fact that his high-team EMT business associate required funding. They would talk about Bruce brewing up some more Bulls tea. Hollywood films starring Bruce Willis. Have you seen that? But EMTT denied it all. According to him, his Bruce was never taken advantage of, and he was unaware, very queasy. The EMTT team, however, is known for producing low-quality films using veteran actors. Night Sky. Was he actually genuinely going to be profiting off of Bruce? To top it all off, he claimed that he never once approached Lala to discuss "Hey there, Bruce." Through their collaboration, EMTT and Bruce during the time. When that happened, EMTT asserted that Bruce appeared to lively. He had great satisfaction while performing on set, participating in golf, dining out, and even with the group. According to EMTT, if Bruce hadn't desired to be present during filming, he would have. I understand. Bruce was allegedly one of EMTT's the people closest to him, so he is unable to everything that goes against what Bruce wants. So, could you please inform me if EMTT or his helper Anna? Once Out of Death is over, executive producer Mike Burns informed his colleagues, upon which he had decided not to cast Bruce in, say, another one of his movies. To top it all off, he was pleased when Bruce admitted to taking some downtime. Mike had no idea that vacation would last indefinitely. Following White Elephant, Jesse V. Johnson reached the same conclusion. According to him, unhappy with the way Bruce continued doing their jobs, while some were simply left taking pictures. Wait, there's more. For what reason did Bruce is permitted to continue in the job for a long time? For whatever reason, his wife Ann prevent him from crossing the line. Did it monetary strain? Did Bruce own it? Would like to continue working? What exactly was it that darker? A sector of the economy that might teach and every penny made from a failing famous person? Or perhaps it was a mix office at all. The strain of having to work saw there's no way that was good for you. At this point, Wedo not claim that Hollywood was the sole culprit Bruce Willis's condition. Doing it that way is not how floating tops are effective. Nearly 40% of the cases end up in people in the family, with 60% of those people appearing suddenly. Stress and excessive workloads, however, profoundly affect neurological well-being. If this is not going to be my first time working injure Bruce physically. The man's wife made the remarks that regarding the fact that Bruce had endured a long-term consequence of his actions. The film Die Hard. The deafening boom utilized in Bruce had various issues with the film. Consider Bruce's professional life. For 40 years featuring high-octane cinema, detonations, feats, the emotional and psychological burden oft hat level of intensity on an annual basis. He truly worked hard, and enjoyed his job, co-workers made the claim. Yet how much will it cost? According to studies that long-term stress can quicken degeneration of brain function. The ever-present Forcian stage, the demanding timetables, the exertion, and the cumulative effect off with the passage of time. Further, in your Bruce Willis persona, getting out of here early is not an option. That's great. The name of the product. You are what we sell. That's great. It justifies making the movie. Until when you find yourself on a movie set one fine day to the question, why am I here? The case with Bruce Willis. In spite of the fact that his cognitive abilities were declining even as he struggled to comprehend or recall lines' presence, as soon as the camera started rolling energized, his Bruce Willis persona remained his career peaked. The man who may turn herself into a hero with the flip of a switch, he was essential to our group. However, the footage capture ultimately came to a halt. And in cases they succeeded, Bruce contracted a disease that is incurable, treatable, and hopefully turned around. The illness has a lower prevalence, more severe than dementia, thus there is less investigation into it. Having said that, ray of optimism. March of 2023, studied by academics at Yale University Sheffield, released innovative studies pertaining to the scientific regarding possible nasal spray medication for the treatment of certain types of FTD. While though it is a significant advancement, it's unable to assist Bruce. For a long time, the treatment distanced from the hardships endured by humans, although it does exist. Should Bruce's offspring be carriers of the gene disease causing mutation, this studies may be able to forestall there through seeing their dad and is going through. Right now, this footage was shot. Bruce Willis turned 70 years old. His illness is characterized as steady, which indicates it isn't experiencing quickly deteriorating, but not improving superior as well. He falls into that terrifying juncture where the illness has absorbed a great deal while neglecting toll of it up to this point. Emma is still his main caretaker, or rather, his companion in caring. Evelyn and Mabel go to on a regular basis, their father home. Demi Moore continues to be involved in inclusion in Bruce's life along with his. There are 3 older daughters, Rumor, Scout, Andy and Tula. Everything remains the same, regardless of the suffering, the loss, and the unexplainable terror of observing the guy they adore gradually go away. Because here is the reality that is obscured by everything the news and conjecture. This is not an account of desertion. I am speaking about a tale concerning a household carrying out its superior performance in an insurmountable situation. The protagonist in this tale is a wife who had to decide whether to retain her or not girls in a house that's made for their medical care or providing them with a childhood unfettered by medical institutions apparatus and caretaker timetables. This is the tale of 2 girls who are overcome with grief upon the death of a father, who is technically still physically present but no longer perceives them in the same manner that formerly did. Here we have an account of Ant's spouse who had the option to end the marriage years ago, but now he only visits his relatives' celebrations, such as birthdays and banquets. That is the wish of Bruce. And this is an autobiographical account of Bruce Willis. The man's entire working life was devoted to have faith in heroes, who are currently educating us something of much greater significance. Love remains long after you've lost the one you love, transformed into something new. Not to mention account of his demise. During his final days are ticking away, started when. At any moment, it may occur between right now. Is everyone prepared? Robert Downey Jr. parting ways. Not immediately. I don't in a way reminiscent of his film work where he departs with much honored, and this farewell is painfully slow and slowly but surely. First to go was his voice. Thereafter, his understanding, his capacity to be mobile, and in the long run, his sense of self-awareness. Nevertheless, what can we, the fans, do? This can teach us anything. We're able to push for additional studies on dementia known as frontotemporal. It is within our capabilities to back entities such as the Association for Temporal Degeneration at the front. We are able to pin discussions around cognitive well-being and the red flags that we frequently neglect. And perhaps, we have the right to expect more from Hollywood, safeguards for participants, improved openness regarding health concerns while filming, regarding the circumstances in which an artist is obviously having difficulty. Because a lot of actors have come before Bruce Willis to confront dementia, he will not be alone. Rosemary Clooney, Robin Williams, Charlton I, along with Wendy Williams. And the list continues. These are more than just famous people. They are those who made us happy, made us laugh, enthusiasm, and motivation. And in cases their faculties begin to deteriorate, they deserving of better treatment than being manipulated by own final payment. Determination is due to them. Recuperate and bid farewell according to their own conditions that we got decades of Bruce Willis entertainment. Our time has come to contribute. Why bringing attention to the issue, backing study, and keeping in mind at all times that underneath each news story is an individual, a genuine family afflicted with a genuine tragedy merits our sympathy. Get some rest, John. Excuse me. This is yours for the taking.